ADCB presents Top Guns in association with Audi. Hello and welcome. Top Guns is about the Indian high achievers you must have read about or heard about, but have never had a chance to meet. Most of them came here with an idea and a dream to make it big. To this show, we bring you these people right into your own home. They tell you their own stories in their words. You get a chance to hear from them how they got successful. And they become an inspiration for all of us. Today's episode is about a person who came here penniless, but had big ideas. He was positive. He knew he was going to make it, and make it big. He started his business in 1995, and today has one of the biggest petrochemical companies in this region. His name is Yogesh Mehta. The man synonymous to the word passion. Yogesh Mehta showed signs of going against the tide to make a mark. He likes to call himself a survivor. Sleeping on the floor of his friend's house in the initial days, he was hell-bent on making things work his way. His company has grown to become one of the largest independent petrochemical distributors in the Middle East. If you want to know how to rise from the bottom of the pile to head a billion-dollar enterprise within a short span of time, there isn't anyone better than Yogesh Mehta to learn from.
I know Yogesh since last 35 years. We are childhood friends. In fact, from school time, we met and we have grown together, studied together, and from that time, we are like buddy to each other. When he came to Dubai, it was a kind of biggest challenge for me to ensure that, to provide him moral support. And which was like, you know, to make sure and ensure to give him a kind of break which he was looking for and get him the right platform. Suggest him, you know, and advise him what to be done and how to be done, as Dubai was a new place for him. My home was his home. We offered him moral support, and that's what I ensured that he gets what he deserves.
He came to Dubai on a hunch and with very little in his pocket, took the risk of selling his wife's jewelry to make ends meet, but always knew that he was going to make it big.
I feel great about him. I'm very happy that he has achieved his target.
What is the secret to success? Is there a secret to success? Let's find out from this week's Top Gun, Mr. Yogesh Mehta. Yogesh, welcome to our show.
Lovely. Nice to be here.
Let's start with your early childhood memories.
Yeah, I have lots of childhood memories, but they remind me of being a very boring, straightforward kind of nerdy, simple Charlie. Most of my childhood was spent in thinking a lot, and people used to call me the thinker for some reason. And we were a bunch of other friends who used to gather and talk philosophy when we were 13, 14, 15 years old. As I grew to be older, well, come 17, 16, 17, 18, when Falguni came in, it was more romantic, more fun, and I got a new meaning to my life. There was always this, that to become rich. There was always this, to have a career, more so because I had a girlfriend and not much support from my family. Those were the times 30 years ago. My parents were thinking that I was going the wrong way and that I should focus on my studies and have a career and then think about all this. But I was relentless. I didn't care. I thought that this is the way it should be, and I'm going to marry this girl, which required me to work. So I had to find reasonable work, which I found with my father. My father had a factory.
Did he have his own business, your father?
Yes, yes. He had a chemical business, much different than what I'm doing, which I joined and I learned under him. 2 years went away and I wanted to grow further. So I decided that I won't do this. And I came back to Bombay from the western part of India. And I said, I'm not doing this. I'm going to set up my own shop, which is my own office.
At a very young age, he always wanted to make it on his own, have his own company, and is willing to go any length to get it.
I found a gullible partner, and it was a lady partner, and she said, okay, you know, I'll put in some money. And we put very small money and started a trading business. It did well for a while. And I wanted to grow further, so I paid her back the money, and I got a new partner, still back in Bombay, and did more chemical trading. And that was bigger league, so that got us more money, and that enabled me to get married and live a life. And Falguni and I always thought that we should have a child 5 years into marriage. And in that 5 years, we had Rohan, our son Rohan, 4th year, and I was in my worst financial state at that time because all the money I made, I lost it and had nothing, and Rohan was born, and I was completely at a loss as to how to live my life in the future. In came my friend at that point from Dubai, and he said, you know, yes, you have this will and great, you know, that's not going to bring you money. I think that you really need to leave India because you don't seem to be doing well. You're very educated, but you don't seem to be doing well. I said, I agree with you. I am not doing well. And he said, well, come to Dubai. He said, you know, I have an apartment. You can stay with me till the time that you feel that you can find something. And his name is Kishore Bhatia. And I came to his house 15th of March 1990. For some reason, I said, I'll go to Dubai and make my fortune. So I came to Dubai, and I quickly found out that it takes a lot of money to live here. And I said, let me call my wife, who is a trained teacher, Montessori teacher. And I said, let her work as a teacher so that there's some money coming into the house. I'll mind the kid till I find a proper partnership with somebody. So I called Falgun, and we stayed in our friend's house for a month. And you know, how long can you stay in somebody's house? And his heart was big, but his apartment was small. So we decided to move from that apartment and get our own small apartment. How do I do that? We had no money. So the easiest thing we did was I sold my wife's jewelry.
Oh.
And the precious bit that she had. I still remember that day very, very clearly in the evening, going to Par Dubai to a jeweler and get very little money. You know, would you believe it? It was not even 6,000 or 7,000 dirhams. This was in May, and near the end of May, I met my potential partner. And I said, I have got this fantastic proposal. I want to do this, that, and the other. And he said, well, it looks good. He says, I'll give you 25%. You're on. And we started this business on 6th of June, and 1st August is the Gulf War. People were leaving Dubai, but people lose money in war, and people make money in war. We made money in war. We imported a lot of chemicals thinking that this war cannot last long enough. Let's stay here. We are here to stay. And the war ended in January. We were back in the game, and we made so much money thereon. As I was growing in this company, I decided that I now wanted something on my own and something bigger. And in the end of '94, I started Petrochem. At that point, I had a British partner who lived in London. His name is David Lubbock, who's like my brother. And even today, we are the best of friends and the best of partners. It's been 17 years almost. And we created this business with a tank terminal, with a drum storage. So there was, we had a purpose. We knew what to do to survive in this chemical fraternity and also in the Middle East. So we built the business around our customers. What did the customers want? How could we serve them better? How quickly could we serve them? What credit could we give them? Could we understand their future needs? And the trick is in anticipating what your customer wants and serving them before they want it. And therein you create a value. And that value is dollars. That value is money. That value is profit. And of course, that's how we reach where we are.
Amazing. That was a phenomenal story, Yogesh. Let's take a short break and continue Yogesh's journey after the break.
That was a time when there was chemistry, there was sparks were flying, and I thought that this girl can be my girlfriend. One day we fell in love.
Nothing means more to me than my husband and my son. Everything is centered around them.
We fight at least 3 times a day. And 3 times a day on a regular basis for 27 years is a lot of fighting.
When we came to Dubai, we were really down and out. There was no direction to our life and kept thinking, how will life take off? And Yogi always said that you know, we are so down, there's only one way, up. So I think those are the nice things. We learned a lot, and I think that's why we treasure the things that we've achieved now, everything from materialistic to non-materialistic, we value it. And I don't think there's a moment in our lives when we forget it. So actually, even the bad part has been so enriching, made us better human beings, and it has kept us grounded, I think.
When you meet him, you don't realize that you're actually meeting one of the most successful businessmen this part of the world. He doesn't show it. It's very normal. He's just, you know, this is it. This has just happened to him. But you feel and you look at him and you meet him, he's searching something else. He's searching much more beyond being successful. The key to his success is that he is himself pursuing excellence, because success will come and go. But excellence is something that will remain with you all times to come, and that's what his pursuit is. And I think in his personal work also, you can see the level of excellence that he pursues, and that's what it is, yeah.
Desire for excellence, positive thinking, diligence are not the only things we get to learn from Yogesh Mehta's life and times. There's a lot more to him. Yogesh, what are you really passionate about?
I'm actually passionate about life. Life, the daily life, the small life, the big life. I'm very passionate about life. I'm passionate about what I eat for lunch, what I eat for dinner, what I will do to grow this company, what I will do to help somebody, to talk to somebody. Everything for me, I do with a passion.
What do you do when you're not working?
Yeah.
Just to have fun.
Yeah. Earlier it used to be that I had no life other than work, and work would be 20-hour days and incessantly traveling. But since many years now, there have been other hobbies in life. And of course, in the whole, in my entire life, I've had music as my companion. Music is really the essence of life, if you ask me. I also have this passion about cooking, and everybody knows that I make a good egg curry.
Is the secret of your marriage a good egg curry?
You got to ask my wife that. You got to ask my wife whether that is the secret.
Tell me how you met Falguni.
We used to live in the same area in Santa Cruz in Bombay, and one day I met this 14-year-old girl. Imagine that when you're 15 and you meet a 14-year-old girl. I know it must be a while for you, but
long time ago, yes.
Yeah, but, and you meet that, and that was a time when there was chemistry, there was sparks were flying, and I thought that this girl can be my girlfriend. She was not much interested, but I was very, very interested, and I thought that I'll make her my girlfriend. We used to study together, same school, same class, same bench. One day we fell in love. I remember one particular incident that we had gone out on a school picnic, and remember, this is now many years ago, and suddenly we were holding hands together. We just spent a day getting to know each other, and then we thought that this can happen. And romance is, you know, we don't know when, one doesn't know when it happens. It happens. And for me, it happened then, when I was 15 years old.
How often do you and Falguni fight?
We fight, well, there is a record. I don't know, it's a Guinness Book of Records, but we fight at least 3 times a day. And 3 times a day on a regular basis for 27 years is a lot of fighting. And is it fighting really? But it's more argument, it's more disagreements. And sometimes I think that she, and I hope she's not listening to this, I think she does it on purpose. She doesn't listen to me on purpose.
Tell me about Rohan now. Who's more strict with Rohan? Is it you or Falguni, your son?
Rohan is the guy who is, you know, he takes the mickey out of both of us. I think he knows that his parents love him too much. And the fact is that every parent loves their child. But really, if you ask me, I think that he loves his mother more than he loves me. It is a real declaration. And I think that he thinks that both his parents love him as much. So he's a lucky kid.
Yes, absolutely.
Nothing means more to me than my husband and my son. Everything is centered around them. And, you know, Yogi remains my hero even today. So I think, wow, if I can feel this way and I can have a twinkle in my eye, like most of my friends tell me, I think half the battle's won. That's what life is all about.
It was a journey of 5 years in Dubai. I came here in 1990. So the first million was made in 1995. 2008, the last quarter was, I was seeing failure in my eyes. I was feeling failure over the horizon, and it troubled me a lot.
How did you come out of that? He suggested we continue with our meeting in his office. Yogesh, you live in a phenomenal area, greenery all around here, beautiful waterfall. How far is your office from here, by the way?
Yeah, this is the Emirates Hills where you take a piece of land and then you construct upon it. And we did that in 2003. So, where there was nothing, but suddenly this has, you're right, it's become a beautiful area. Not far from my office. Sometimes it takes 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but, normally I average about 20 minutes. Not more than that. But it's a great ride. As I go, I do my things, I do my mental makeups, I make the few phone calls that I need to. So that 25-minute journey actually helps me to collect my thoughts and get into work.
When did you make your first million?
Well, as I remember it, it was one fine morning of some month, but in the year 1996. It's with great happiness and tremendous sense of achievement that I feel that the first million was made.
And how long did that take you to make your first million?
Yes, it was a journey of 5 years in Dubai. I came here in 1990, so the first million was made in 1995.
So it took you 5 years to make your first million, and how did you celebrate when you made your first million?
Well, it was together as a family. We thought that this was a huge sense of achievement. My family thought that we had all arrived.
One of the friends was telling us that the lack of money causes unhappiness, but the abundance does not guarantee it. Do you think that's true?
Well, money is required. I would say that many people said I don't have much money and I'm happy. Well, you can't just live on little money. Money is important, but just think, it's very easy if you understand when you don't have money what it cannot do. So you think it in two ways, that if I had money, what would I do? And if I don't have money, where am I? So there's a big difference, and hence there should be a strive to earn money, but to retain money is another thing. To retain your wealth is another thing. This is my thought.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do with your money?
I think money should be spent well, money should be enjoyed with. And then there is the good work that can be done with money, helping others. What is on the anvil right now is to open a charitable institution, which is closer to my heart. And what is close to my heart? Children's education is close to my heart. And I would take great pains to educate a child. Then one child, maybe 10 children, maybe 100 children. And this is how a village becomes a city. And this is the enterprise that I would like to reach. I would like to help people around me. Giving is part of living, actually.
That's phenomenal.
Right, I told you it's going to take you 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And here we are, 20 minutes.
Nice office here. Quite spacious, huh?
Yes. This is our office since the last 15 years.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And you have a picture here of this. Is it the Jebel Ali terminal?
Yes.
I remember.
This is.
What is this all about?
This is what we are. Actually, this is the head office, and that's our terminal. This is in Jebel Ali. It shows our tank terminal, our drum storage, our drumming lines, our logistics office, and this is such an elaborate terminal. This is such a success story that we have, that we've got school children coming to this terminal to do safety exercises, and we teach them fire safety exercises in this terminal. I must tell you, I'll tell you more as we go inside, but the drum storage is made in canopies, and it is such a very scientifically done.
So Yogesh, if the price of oil goes up, does it also mean the price of petrochemicals also go up or down in your business? How does it work?
Yeah, it can do. Oil prices, volatile as they are, they tend to really, affect our prices for petrochemicals, because oil is energy. Energy means benzene, toluene, xylene, and as that goes up, we have derivatives of those products that we buy and sell. So really, a simple answer is that if oil prices go up, energy goes up, and hence our chemical prices also go up. But there are other factors also. Not everything is only depending on oil and then the prices moving up, because you have to consider the other factor about geopolitical things. The geopolitical situation is not really helping.
What's the most valuable asset of your company, of Petrochem?
Well, like anybody else in anybody else's company, people are our main assets. You may have seen some of our people in the company. These people have been groomed, they have been molded. There's an ethos in the company, and the ethos is do right, feel right, work right. So it is very important to do talent management in the company, and that in turn becomes your asset.
In 1992, right out of my college, way back in Bangalore, I got a call from Yogesh asking me if I could join him back in Dubai. I just felt that this was the moment, and I just accepted the offer, and that's how I am. I think he's been my complete mentor.
He is a very hard worker and he demands the same of his people. And I think because of his charm and his mannerisms and his own style, he gets the work done out of everybody.
Yes, he's a very busy man and socially extremely busy, traveling-wise too busy. So the jobs are varieties. There's a lot of things that keep coming in. There's no prioritization from his side. But as far as I'm concerned, he just expects results and he gives me my space to do it however I want it.
He loves life, including very much his work. And that's his beauty.
Good sir.
What is your current business philosophy of Petrochem? Rather, what is your personal business philosophy at the company?
Yes, in this journey of 17 years running Petrochem, the philosophy is forever evolving. But if I would tell you a few things from my past 17 years to a snapshot, which is today, we would like to do businesses which are from our core, which maintain our core strengths. In the coming 3 years, we want to grow from where we are to double what we do today. So being a billion-dollar company doesn't help. We have further aspirations. The philosophy is to really nurture the future of our people. Their manifestation, their happiness.
You speak a lot about your people, but what drives you in your business?
The personal passion to succeed is the biggest driver.
What was the biggest failure that you ever experienced and how did you handle it?
Failure has come few and far between. It has come. I was telling you about the 2008 debacle where we lost a lot of money both in the chemical business as well as in the real estate, and that we paid a price monetarily, financially, and of course you should call that, or I call that, a failure. A failure on my part. 2008, the last quarter was, I was seeing failure in my eyes. I was feeling failure over the horizon, and it troubled me a lot.
How did you come out of that?
We took strong measures. The first thing we did is that we never fired any of our people. The second thing we did, we never reduced anybody's salaries. But we took a few corrective measures. We understood the market correctly. We corrected the mistakes. We believed in the future. And luckily, the positions on the cargoes that we took came very right. Our people, I think they started working 25-hour days. Those people contributed to our success. And 2009 has been the most glorious and successful year in the history of my company.
Now, going into the future, what's the vision for you 5 years ahead for you and Petrochem?
Yeah, currently we have a 2015 program in place in the company, and we have to move slowly, but we have to move steadily. And if we do both, we will go well into 2015.
It's been a very, very inspiring time to spend time with you. I like the vision you have for the future and for your people. They have very high regard for you. Wish you all luck and success for the future.
Well, I thank you. You spent a day with me, and it's been very, very exhilarating. I wish that you do an interview for me once in a month, and we can meet.
That'll be great. We can do that. Thank you very much.
God bless.
Thank you. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
So what is the secret to success? Well, there is none. Keep your feet firmly on the ground and aim high. This is your host, Anish Jagtiani. I look forward to seeing you next week with another Top Gun.
Oh, he hates surprises. He wants to know what's happening, so he doesn't like to be in the dark. But he knows very well that I like surprises, so he tries to spring them up sometimes.
We meet almost, you can say, occasionally, but not so often. But of course, once or twice in a month, we do meet.